And the Lord saith unto me, you know how you were procrastinating making this video? Now you get to be even more efficient. A la familia, no quiero entrar en mucho detalle en español porque no quiero alarmar a demasiados familiares, pero estoy en una situación algo grave y estoy recaudando fondos para mí misma. That's the most Spanish you're gonna hear. If you don't know me in real life, I am gonna roll a clip. This is Nagham. The Israeli occupation forces bombed her family's house into rubble in the first week of the current Nakba. And they've been evacuated helter-skelter ever since, but never able to flee the country because of how much private individuals are charging human beings to get out of a war zone. There are 2 other families I'm emotionally invested in, but they've been able to escape, so their situations are less dire. Either way, the 3 links are in all my descriptions everywhere. There's something about asking for money from strangers, which is easy when it comes to somebody, not myself, who needs it until further notice, for whom there is no plan to pay the money back. Whereas for myself, I am happy to do so. Yeah, if it's $1, $5, $20, I am much happier to, in presumably 4 months at the most, to be able to pay that money back. I don't feel guilty about asking for money for people who are in a war zone with no escape plan in the near future. So, if you know me in real life, particularly for any length of time, you will notice I don't often talk about my day job. The job itself is something I am happy to do. It's just a case of I'm not in the income bracket I would like to be, and I can't find a way to get into those higher income brackets. If you know me in real life, you're likelier to know my partner. Both of us are in quite different ways working in a gig economy. We are both beholden to a phone call. We can get booked day of, and we have our bread and butter gigs, and without those, life is so much more difficult than it already is. And I'm in the position right now where I do not have any income guaranteed until, at best, August, hopefully. August and not September. 0 guaranteed income right now is what I'm dealing with. In my job, you're just on standby, like officially, on paper, on standby, unless or until they offer you work. And that's it, really. So it's like the good news is that I'm not worried about July's rent. I do have that. I have that saved up. Unfortunately, I'm quite short for August rent. And my living situation is not one in which I can go into arrears. These are not landlords I can be in arrears with. What's really annoying is that I am supposed to be on SNAP. I have been qualifying for SNAP for years. If you don't know what SNAP is, you probably know what food stamps are. It's the same thing. My case was closed in a way I don't understand because I still qualify for the benefit almost a year ago. And despite all my efforts, it's still not reopened. I've done what I can, and I am still waiting to hear back for the next step for them to hopefully reopen it without me having to put in much more work. So my savings are July's rent and most of August. Not all of August. I am hoping to be able to earn enough to have September's rent out of my own salary and not in asking for it from the general public. But in the worst case scenario, I will, again, not have guaranteed income until September. So if that happens, I will be the Bernie Sanders meme asking you once again for help. But at the moment, I'm hoping not to have to be asking for help with September's rent. However, I already have friends and family who are able to help me with groceries and train fare, not with making rent, which is why I'm here. And to top it all off, I do not rent directly from my landlord. I'm a sublessee, and the lessee, due to a personal emergency, is coming to take possession, coming to live in the apartment in October. So my partner and I are going to need alternate living arrangements at October at the latest. So we can give you more details. As a couple, we are highly unlikely to find anything together because we don't qualify for much as a couple. So we're both separately kind of looking for rooms as of now. If you know us in person, you can message us and we'll give you details so you can help us look. Because on paper, we are not highly desirable tenants. We just pay the rent on time and are quiet, decent, respectful human beings. That's not enough in this city to count for anything. Nobody cuts you any slack if you don't have the numbers everybody wants. So if you can only lend money and not give, again, let me know and I'm happy to pay that back, hopefully sooner rather than later. If you don't need to lend the money, but you just still want to get something in return, much less support the small business I already have open. My website has a short fiction on it already. $5 will get you a free digital copy of the short story I am the most proud of. And if we can meet in person, I can give you a hard copy. All the products on my website start at $5. If you live in this city, you know that fare has gone up, that to go anywhere and to come back on the MTA now costs $6, but $5 is still a round number, it's its own dollar bill amount. So it's its own dollar bill denomination, so I'd like to keep it there. But you can pay, the lowest price or more for any and all products. Everything on my website is stuff that I'm very proud of, I'm very enthusiastic about, and I'm working on promotional material, videos for 2 of these short stories, one of which is upcoming. The translations to Spanish, all the stories except for one are translated to Spanish, and that is in the near future. There isn't a particular date, but I would like to say a month, I don't know. And yeah, it's there's a slice of life, there's a neurodivergent creation story, and there is historical fiction because I'm a nerd. Thank you for watching till now. You stay safe.